Morning, welcome from a very wet Cars in the Park. If you see my Instagram story or post this morning, not half an hour ago, it was absolutely hammering it down. So it seems to have passed now, hopefully, fingers crossed. There'll be lots of cars turning up. This field is usually absolutely rammed full of cars. If I spin around a bit more, yeah, you can see people coming in like crazy. So yeah, it should be a good day. This is basically a sort of what I would call a local car show, but this has been running for 28 years. So there's a lot of people turn up. If I turn all the way around, the camera turns up. You've got manufacturers here as well. So we've got Kia over there, Stellantis is down here, and there's a Volvo there. Load of trade stands. There's a small fair sort of over here somewhere. JCB are here as well. The police force are down sort of in the corner as well. So yeah, there's a lot to see here, which is nice. When a few more cars have turned up and if the rain sort of holds itself together, we'll take a walk around and see what cool cars are here, because there's always something cool here. I mean, there was two Renault Aventines here yesterday, and you don't see one of them normally, and there was two. So yeah, we'll have a walk around, see what we can find. I'll show off all the cool cars. If this is a long video, it's because there's too many cool cars to cut them all out. So yeah, let's go and see what we can find. Start with the Club stand I'm on. Talbot rally prepped car over there. There's a couple of my K11 Micros over there. Right next to me is a K20 swapped Lotus Elise. It's an S1. So they dropped the Toyota engine. BMW Stay. There's a nice Mark II Golf. I think it's a Mark II. Freshly built Escort. Turbo, I'm not sure what the engine was, I didn't catch what the owner said, but it's a turbo running about 160 at the moment, fresh build, brand new, and should make 350 or so once they turn the boost up. So that'll go. V70, this is the T5, so it's a V70R, I believe. Double check, but there's no bad, yeah, there we go. Yeah, V70R, all-wheel drive. Yeah, the T5 turbo, so yeah, that's very rare, don't see many of them, along with the Escort next to it, and then we've got a Maserati right on the end. So even within our own club stand we have a nice variety of stuff. Cars still coming in. So right opposite us we've got a couple of Morris Minor vans, I think that's what they are, or Morris Travellers maybe. Traveller's probably more correct. And then we've got a whole range of Corvettes directly opposite as well, from the early sort of 70s 80s ones all the way up to, there's a modern C8 over here, the C7 next to it as well. So yeah, good variety in the back there. You can see a bit of everything. That's one of the reasons I like this show. It's like a proper variety of everything. Lotus, more Lotus, or Lotai? Yeah. I think this was the one that was at Coventry Motor Fest a couple of weeks ago. So that's nice. Nice little LAN. There's a Spree behind. Over there. Yeah, bit of everything on the Lotus front. Directly behind us we have pretty much every Jag that's ever existed. They apparently due 20 cars. So yeah, nice variety of Jags down here, including F-Paces. There's another F-Pace right at the bottom, I think, by the looks of it, but again a nice variety. Nice F-Type S there as well, which is nice. There was some E-Types here yesterday. I don't think they've actually got any on this stand, but yeah, there was a few E-Type Jaguars yesterday. Didn't get a chance to film yesterday. There wasn't a lot of cars here anyway, so speaking of Jags, another one coming in here. Nice XJS. The S2000s, Owners Club, not too far from us as well. A couple of nice ones. You don't see many of these about anymore. I think this is probably one of the few Hondas I would go and buy. Obviously two-seater convertible, so that's right up my street. That and 9,000 RPM. Do like the yellow one. A friend of mine had one of these in yellow. A nice wide body kit on it. It was really nice. He let me drive it. It's a really nice drive. Definitely if the opportunity arises, I would probably have one of these, but not something I would go and seek out, I don't think. XJS Owners Club. Quite a few XJS here. Quite nice cars these. I don't know whether I'd buy one, but maybe just for the V12. So I say I've owned the V12 for a bit, and then by the looks of it, every Ford on the planet is here. So we were watching these guys come in yesterday. There's a stand directly opposite ours down there as well on the right hand side. But yeah, if you like Fords, there's probably one here. Fiestas, STs, got the RS over there as well. I think that's an early RS next to Mark 1 RS. Focus STs. There's all sorts of Escorts. There's, I think rally cars right at the back over there. So yeah, if you like Fords, there's plenty here to choose from. We've got Midlands Mercedes Group on the end here. Oh, and Kia, factory Kia opposite. I think this is their local dealer. There's always a few local dealers here. There's first Virtue down there as well by the looks of it. Yeah, Midlands Mercedes Club, bit of everything. Convertibles obviously not being used today. And some older ones on the end by the looks of the more interesting stuff. Not a clue what any of these are, to be honest. Oh, Brabus Smart for 2. Semi-interesting, not very exciting, didn't sell well, obviously. Ooh, Evo 5 over there. I don't know what stand that is. Can't see what, but there's a, yeah. It's not an Evo 5, that's an Evo 7 or 8, I think. Not sure. I'll go around and have a look when I get around to that side. It's a Mach-E in rally spec. I doubt it's ever going to see a rally in its life, but interesting to look at nonetheless. Certainly bright anyway. Nexen tyres, yeah, there's a whole bunch of trade stands down here. There's the police stand I mentioned earlier. So yesterday they were having kids hopping in and out, having a look at the cars, playing with the sirens, that sort of thing. Yeah, there's the Volvo. So they've got so Volvo down here with an EX40, and then what looks like a 740, no 240, 340 GLT. This looks pristine. It looks immaculate. Yeah, there you go. You can just about make it through the rainy windows there. Just about make that out. Yeah, it looks as new as it did the day it came off the factory. Into the trade stalls, see what's interesting down here and spend a fortune, most likely. Split screen camper van, along with the Porsche. I assume that's a 911. I don't know that many old Porsches, to be honest. And then along with all the club stands, at the other end of the trade stands over here, all the individual, what they call individual show cars. So if you're on your own, you're not part of a club, you can actually come down on your own and display your car by yourself. So that's not always something you can do at some of these shows. Spent some money. Dog treats, dog toys. There's a bit of everything here. There's car cleaning and all sorts of stuff. But back to the cars, which is the main thing we're here for. Yeah, so Copenhagen Owners Club. These are quite cool. These guys always show up. We were right next to them last year, which was nice. But yeah, I think the Japanese version of this was the 0.6 litre turbocharged engine. What we got over here was the 1.3. And I don't think there's much, obviously there's turbocharged difference, but power-wise, output-wise, I don't think there was much difference in these. I think I'd like one of these at some point, but these hold their value because there's not too many of them, and they've got quite a cult following. So, but I think there's quite a lot of modifications available for them. So, yeah, quite a unique car, as it were. The Beetle's quite interesting. It's got the smooth wheel covers on it. There's just a Golf R on the end there as well. Then Peugeot Owners Club, I assume this is. Can't read the sign, it's moving. Club Peugeot UK, or Peugeot Owners Club, yeah. Yeah, nice 205 on the end there. And I think that's a 504, looks like it's lifted. I assume that's lifted, either that or it's factory. Peugeot have done some weird things in the past. It's an early Peugeot as well. 106 GTI. Lifted Smart for 2 over there. That's here every year. I'm sure it had a proper roof dent on it last year, but seems to have had something different. There's a couple of... There's a Smart Car Owners Club. So yeah, there's a few different smart cars over there. The Roadsters and the Smart for 2s. And then further down there, more Fords. Right, so I've had some lunch, had some breakfast. We're going to go for a wander. The weather's brightened up, although there's some dark clouds in the background still, so we'll see what else we can find. But it looks like the Audi has got some friends now, so at least they're not on their own. So a few nice cars down here. I'm not sure what stand this is. We're still in the sort of sand section, but it's a nice Evo 8 there. A nice Fiesta is, and then there's an R34 GTR. Looks like it's in the classic Bayside blue with a period correct body kit. Not sure what kit that is, but yeah. HKS number plate. Looks like it's got gauges in the A-pillar as well. Yeah, it's nice. You don't see many of these out, especially when the weather's like this. Some of the owners anyway are babying these, but nice to see them out and driven. Let's keep walking, see what else we can find. There's a couple of BMWs here. Really nice blue on that BMW back there. I'm not sure if that's a factory colour. Probably a wrap. Purple Astra. The same livery that's on every Subaru. Blue Subaru anyway. Love one of these DeLoreans. But they're expensive to buy and the bodies are a pain to look after. Because they're not paint, I believe they're brushed stainless steel. So yeah. Left-hand drive as well, so you'd have to deal with that. But worth it in my opinion. Of course you have to rotary swap it, same as the as Mr. DeLorean wanted. Yeah, all the Fords. When I said all the Fords were here, I meant all of the Fords were here. All of them. Celica GT4 there, you don't see many of those about. Nice. 370Z. Again, don't see many of those about. So these are all the individual cars, so these are not with a club or anything like that. See, you can see the variety here, just in this row. VW camper van, Mustang, Range Rover, Ford, I'm not sure what that is, an MGB down there. Monaro hiding in the back. Subaru, Corsas, Passats, there's all sorts here. There's a mini Moke in the middle there. Mark 1 MX-5 right at the back, let's go and see that. The hearse with 2 tent boxes was here last year. That's interesting. Is that a Supra? No, S14 hiding in the middle there. It's clean by the looks of it. Around the back. It's the first test body I've seen all day. So this is not a Japanese car show, as it were, but you do get the odd Japanese cars. I mean, there's 3 in the line here. Mark III MX-5. Lightly modified by the looks of it, and an MR2 over there as well, in like a plum colour. Yeah, the VX R8 over there. Wouldn't mind one of those as well, but they hold their value like crazy over here. Loads of these Escorts in Mexico. The camper van. Honda, not sure what that is actually. The anime on the side. We've got mini van and a mini pickup next to each other. Chevy Camaro, there's a Dodge Charger over there, and then a Jag Mark II in the middle, just to prove the continued variety, and then the Mark I MX-5 that's spotted from the top of the hill. XFR over there, nice. Again, I wouldn't mind one of these, but with the timing chain issues on these and dropping the engine to fix it, don't think I could do it. And then that's an M3. Yeah, it's an M3. A new one. Nice blue. With a 306 convertible next to it, apparently. And the Mark 3 MX-5.
But again, I don't know about the lighting.
Yeah, these I like. Yeah, I really like what Alfa's doing with their designs on these cars. But again, they're holding their value, especially the performance ones. So they're a bit out of my budget at the moment. And the Mini Moke. Gonna be fun driving that home in the rain. Pontiac Firebird. There's that Supra over there. Capri next to a classic Mini. There's another couple of classic Minis over there. Next to a big Mini. Really see the size difference in those. And that Mini's only an 05 plate, which is interesting. But yeah. Sunbeam. Talbot Sunbeam. Oh, Nissan Figaro. Usually see those at classic car shows, but they're getting rarer. And it's for sale. £5 £5's not too bad for one of those. Morris pickup, I think. Suzuki Swift. Again, this is not a Japanese show, but there's always Japanese cars here. And the VW Camper. Not sure what that is. For the age, it's massive. West Midlands 4x4 response over here. All their 4x4s and a Bentley. Yeah, they've got cars all the way down there. The Copen, MR2. Slightly older MR2. A Ford Scorpio. On a Honda K car. I'm not sure what that is. N-Box. Yeah, that'll be imported because I know they don't sell many K cars over here, so let's cut through. Oh, another Supra. Another Mark 5 Supra. I like the look of these. They've really grown on me. Took me a while to get to like these, but yeah, they've really grown on me. Mark 1 MX-5 hiding in there. Nice, lightly, tastefully modified this one.
We got to meetings, right, Daddy? So Marcy, what is it I'm trying to say, Marcy?
With the GCF roll bar in there. Yeah, see, when I say there's a variety here, there's always something different, including this giant Mercedes van. Another classic Mini. Side of a man cave wall art. Okay. That's what that is. I wonder what that was there. I assume that's fiberglass or something like that, but yeah. Modified Mercedes over there. Classic Mini there, then there's another modified BMW, classic Mustang next to it. And then this, I assume ex-army vehicle. I'm not sure exactly what this is, but this is the sort of thing that turns up at this show. Honda M1. Again, this must be an import of some description.
And that Michael wouldn't necessarily have touched it because he just put the light on it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so 600cc, automatic, 850 kilos. Yeah, so this is a full-on K car imported from Japan. Interesting. Never seen one of these before. But I guess this is, what, 13 years old now, so I guess it's affordable to import. It's for sale for £5-6 grand, so I'm not surprised people are starting to import these more modern K cars now. Yeah, it's definitely not your typical K car, especially the same as that N box that's further around that we just saw. So, convertible Golf. E-Type Jag, there's always E-Type Jags at these kinds of shows, without fail. Yeah, Morgan three-wheeler on the end. And a couple of motorbikes. I assume it was supposed to be busier, but yeah, I think the rain stopped because this portion of the field's normally full. but I think the rain stopped a lot of people from coming. That's Cars in the Park. Unfortunately, it's not been as busy as it normally is. There's normally more cars here than this, but I think the rain's put a lot of people off from coming, which is a shame because the turnout's normally insane. Like, we're normally queuing for 3 hours to get into the venue, but if it's still worth coming. There's a lot of interesting cars here. There's some really good trade stands here as well, which is always good for making you part with your money. As you can see behind me, cleaning solutions like Shadow Spot here. So I spent some money with them, obviously. But yeah, I think this is always worth going to. It's always a highlight of the year, and I always bring the MX-5 here with the car club, so it's a good chance to show it off. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.